Let's go through function review. This is a function anatomy or function signature. By way of saying function, sometimes we refer to function size methods only if these functions or class or member functions or methods are part of class. Okay. Now, if let's say if your function is not part of the class, you call them function. For brevity in this review, let's just call them function. Let's look at the signature of a function. So there is a data type here. This is a return type, right? If the function does not return anything, then we return void, right? Otherwise, you could also return integer. You could also return string, right? So on and so forth, or chart and things like that. So string is a C++ string, not C string. In a C++ setting, a function name plus the parameters. Now, parameters are part of a function signature, right? These are, the information that you pass into a function either by value, by reference, by pointers and whatnot. When you invoke a function, you pass some value into the function. We call those values arguments, right? This is the difference between arguments and parameters, right? Parameters is part of a function. Arguments what pass into, right? Get passed into a function. So that's the difference. So A and B in this case are parameters, and they are all of type integer. So in this case, A plus B itself, right? What is integer plus integer? It's not an integer. It returns an integer. So that's it. And there's also naming conventions for naming for a function. So in other words, you can't have a function name, with a dash in between. You can have underscore, right? But not dash in between. Also, you can't name function with some weird characters like pound in front of it, as a function name. So these are part of the naming convention thing that that can complete with the basic facilities inside C++ and even C as well. So let's move on to the next one that illustrates member function. So now we're looking at what's called methods. This is part of what's called a member function, okay? Member of what? Member of a class, okay? So wherever this sits in. So this member function in this particular length, right? Length is actually a method or a function, so a member function of string object. So this string object is instantiated on the stack here, right? So there's a class, right? This is the class that you need to write. And this is a name for that object that points to that class, right? Of type class. Let's say you have PCC. This is a generic string with a, this is a new line, right? New line characters, okay? So this is PCC with the new line characters. Let's say if you want to find out the size of this, right? Or the number of characters you have inside this name, what you do is simply invoke, right? This member function. This name's member function has length. So if you look at C++ string API, you'll see that a string class has many methods, right? Or member functions. So by the way, member function is the same as methods. And the way that you invoke it on the stack is by using this dot operator. Okay, so we'll talk about this later on, but you've seen this probably a lot already in the past. So this member function is an object, allows you to compute, right? What? The number of characters, right? In a C++ string, okay? So that's it. This is an example of a member function. And of course, this length, it's got a signature that returns an integer, and that gives you the length of that. That's how you, make use of your member function. And notice that this is an assignment right here, right? Assignment. So we are assigning the length of this into this. So this is what we call R value. R value gets executed first or evaluated first. And then the assignment happens after the outcome of that expression, which is name.length, is finished. That gives you a number, and that number is assigned into this variable. So this is a multi-step process. And of course, this is only possible when we're dealing with the semicolon, right? The semicolon is a statement, right? Statements allows the entire, right, expression to be evaluated right on that spot in that order I described.